Hello and welcome to Juice with Justin, part 3 of State of the Fitness Industry in Vietnam 2.0, talking about the youth population. In this episode, I'm going to focus strictly the opportunity, the business, the industry side of things, as opposed to training, tactics, and strategies. If you want to get into that, luckily I did a Juice with Justin. Check it out. Here are some problems going on right now in this underserved market. The youth population needs 6 to 7 plus hours of activity a week, and for the most part, they're not getting it. Everything is structured these days. We've got play dates being structured from a young age. We've got school activities being structured. This is a problem. We've got increasing wealth, fast increasing wealth in this country. That leads to things like Western fast food options coming in here and parents wanting to give it to their kids because it's new and they didn't have it. And then there's this positive perception about what it means to be able to have these things. And that leads to things like obesity in the youth population. We have got this on more than one occasion, getting a referral from a hospital for kids younger than 6 years old being 30, 40 kg plus. This is a huge problem. We also got a country and a culture that values education more than physical activity. There's many benefits to that, but it leads to a big lacking on the activity, sport, physical development front for this country. And lastly, because of that, we have a sports and athletic infrastructure that is hugely underdeveloped in this country. So those are the main problems. Things are structured. Wealth leading to poor nutrition options and habits. A culture that values education way more than it does physical activity and physical health. And because of that, we have an infrastructure that's lacking when it comes to serving the youth population. So why do we want to solve these problems? Activity, sports, movement, it's really good for long-term physical health. If kids develop the habits now, they will have skills and tool sets for the rest of their lives that's going to help increase their quality of life, reduce their likelihood of disease and injury, increase mental health, be less stressed, and conversely, if they get this activity level, they're going to be more focused, in better moods, and that's actually going to transfer into the educational side of things. Kids will be able to study better, they'll get better grades, they'll be in better moods around your family and at home. And if that isn't enough reason, I don't know what is. How do we solve these big problems? Here's some ideas. Everyone needs to meet kids in the middle. Everyone needs to meet parents and families in the middle. So I'm talking about kids. They have to do their part. Parents, adults, mentors, schools, communities, and private industry. We all have to do our part to rise this tide that is the underserved youth population when it comes to physical activity and sport and fitness. Here's an example. Schools have some of the best opportunities for infrastructure and sporting facilities in the city in this country. If they could be more liberal and giving of their after educational times to their communities, to their students and teachers and parents involved in their school communities that want to offer extracurricular fitness, movement, sporting solutions, do it. Schools in general are greatly underutilizing their space and the opportunity to make a bigger impact on their community. Parents and families and role models and coaches and adults lead by example. So many times I've seen people wanting to pass the buck, pass the responsibility over to someone else. Here's some money, coach, help my kid. Here's some money, activity, thing, be a positive influence on my kid's life. It does have benefit if your kids are in the right places, but nothing is more powerful than leading by example on your own. If parents and families and older influences can coach, pay it forward, lead an active lifestyle, generally make good choices when it comes to your health and fitness, that's going to have a way bigger impact on this population than anything else. Lastly, private industry has to think differently about the opportunity that is a youth population. Private industry is attempting to offer solutions for this market. Let's use a gym, for example, and they offer adult group classes. What they might do is take that same program and say, hey, let's change the title and make it youth class. All that does is take one offering that isn't suitable and trying to get them to do it. It's like comparing apples and oranges. They're two different things, two different markets. Or trying to put a square peg in a round hole. That solution won't fit for the youth population. The intentions are good, but we got to start thinking bigger, longer term. Ask questions like, what does the youth population like? What do they don't like? How can we affect change positively with this population? Are there different methods and strategies that they'll respond to so that there's more buy-in? They get a positive relationship with the activity or the solution or whatever it is you're offering, want to come back, talk about it with their friends, and instill habits and community for the longer term. So private industry needs to think long and hard about what is a better medium and long-term approach to this, as opposed to just short-term trying to get an offering out there to fill a need and trying to capitalize on the market and get revenue, but actually not providing a true long-term solution. So to wrap that up, we need activity. There's not enough of it. Kids need 6, 7+ hours of activity a week, and most likely they're not getting it. We need everyone, parents, kids, mentors, peers, coaches, industry, needs to meet everyone in the middle to bring up this industry. I'm really optimistic on where this can go because there's a lot of opportunity. I can see people starting to ask the right questions and do the right things. It ends up being a win-win-win for everyone. I see in the next 3, 5, 10 years, this youth population, like the solutions for this youth population, greatly changing in the right direction, and I'm super excited for that. If you've listened to this episode, you have any questions, you want to talk about this stuff, see how we can make a better impact, feel free to reach out. You know how to get a hold of me. That's the end of this episode. I realized when I started this State of the Fitness Industry, I missed one big population, one big segment that is underserved. So I'm going to talk about that in next week's episode. It's a bonus episode, and that's going to be on the injured population. People that are dealing with injury, people that are dealing with pain, people that need to be proactive about not having this stuff happen in the first place. Thank you for joining this episode of Juice with Justin.